record. All right. So today, this will probably get cut, but I'll just put it anyway. So today I'm here with, maybe what I might do is I might include it like as a Ko-fi bonus or something. Maybe I'll do that. But yeah, so today I'm here with Matthew from AheadMatthewawsome.
Hello everyone. Thank you, Shah, for all this.
No, not a problem. Do you want to tell us a bit about your channel, maybe?
Yeah. So I run the AheadMatthewawsome YouTube channel. I do a lot of stuff with transport, urban planning as well, and also with disability advocacy as well. So I do a lot about that as well. So.
Yes, thank you so much, Matthew. So Matthew has lived in Turramurra his whole life, and so he's going to help me with this video, and pretty much I'm going to just get quotes from him and use it in the video. And this might go out as a Ko-fi bonus, or maybe this will be in the video. I'll just see when I edit it. But I guess, so let me think what we need to kind of talk about Turramurra in general. So I guess, first of all, what do you like about Turramurra?
Well, Turramurra, it's in all of Sydney, it's honestly one of the best places to live. I can't think of anywhere better to live. It's, we get, a lot of public transport here with the train line. The train line is one of the main reasons why I love, public transport, living next to a train line, and then also, having all this, having all this development near nature and everything. It's a very peaceful, very welcoming place here.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about, you've kind of talked about the services a bit. So I'll go through each tenant. So I guess we can go through density first. So can you maybe tell us a bit about the types of homes that are here, like the detached houses and the apartments and stuff like that, and how many of each percentage?
Yeah, so there's a lot of, detached houses that were built when Turramurra came from being a very agricultural place to a suburban place in the 1920s. So a lot of the detached houses came from that. There were a few apartments starting to be built in the 1960s, 1970s, and the council just decided to stop building apartments. Are those the red bricks on the other side? Yeah. Over on the other side, there's quite a few over around Eastern Road. A few of them around there. And then in 2009, the previous state Labor government announced rezoning changes around here. It was quite. This might sound quite familiar, but there was lots of protests about that. But the state government just went, we need to do it. Let's go ahead with it. And they went and rezoned a lot of surrounding Turramurra into R4 and very Pacific locations. And in the end, it's turned out to be, that it's turned out to, bring a lot more life into Turramurra, but we still have, a lot more to go. Absolutely. No, I completely agree. I guess, so you've talked a bit about the detached houses. What I'll do really quick is make sure it's recording fine, and then we'll. So we've done density. I guess, what do you like about the apartments? So, yeah, it looks good. I actually need to. We're not quite in the middle, but maybe let's move over a bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, that's slightly better. Okay. So what? And just just tell us, I guess, as briefly as you can. You don't have to be too brief, but kind of briefish. What do you like about the density here, in terms of the amenity, the tree garden? Well, we're around here. It's around Rohini Street. It's there's lots of great shops and amenities around here. There's also and then also a little bit further out some of the newer apartments coming out. It's at the start. There's not a lot of vegetation around there, but as they mature over time, you can get some really beautiful designs with that. But just as long as they're a lot of people here are as long as it keeps the character keeps going, and all that, it's fine.
Like the tree cover and all that.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. So that's density. I guess services wise, so how much has this place changed since you've moved? Have there been any new apartments? Because I looked at the census and there have been, apparently. They have, between 2016 and between 2011 and 2021, it's gone up 10% in terms of the apartment share.
Yeah, so that happened, as I was mentioning, back in 2009, they went and did all the zoning changes. We're now towards the end of that, of all those new apartments being built now. It's starting to starting to end a little bit. But sort of, like right next, immediately to the station, there definitely could be a lot of improvements with that. There was a plan about 10-15 years ago. Just behind us, there's a big car park and and a Coles and a library there. The library in there is very outdated, and the car park in there, a lot of people are petrified walking around there. So most people drive around here just because, especially if they're with young children, because they're just petrified of walking around here. But there was a plan to put the Coles underground and the car park underground and put up on top, apartments, shops, and nice community plaza space, which would have really, would have really brought back to life, the community. But it's they announced it first back in 2006. When I was younger, they were saying, it's going to be all built in 2020. Keep an eye out for 2020. But
let me guess, they haven't started yet?
No, nothing at all. It's been, stalled for decades now, literally as long as I've lived.
And is that because of NIMBYs, or is it because of lack of will, or what do you think?
Well, it's sort of, there's definitely a lot of support specifically for the Turramurra community hub. In the community, a lot of people hate how it is currently, just behind us, and and want that rejuvenated, but it just there's been not enough funding. There's been a lot of bureaucracy with that, and it just gets all very political and very complicated. So
that's a shame. But I guess, okay, so we've kind of covered density quite well. Services, I guess you've talked about how great the train is. I don't think we need to talk about that again, but I guess we can talk about let's try and talk about some. Oh, we talked about mobility. Oh, do you want to talk about the buses, actually?
Yeah. So the buses around here. So in Turramurra, we got a bus terminal here. We got buses operated by CDC. So we got like about 5-6 bus routes around here. They're okay, but the main issue with it is that we have a lot of they don't operate frequently enough. Like on Sundays, it's very common for buses to only run every 2 hours.
Yeah, that seems to be a pretty big problem. Would you say bringing more people to Turramurra, would you think that would help?
Yeah, I think that bringing some more people into Turramurra would help out with that, and then also having just simplifying more the routes, and then also getting. And then also, having the routes being, more convenient to other places that people in Turramurra go to, like St Ives. There's a major shopping centre over there. It's a major hub there. No bus service at all between Turramurra and St Ives. It's only about a 5-minute drive here. It's actually faster to walk than take public transport. It's about a half an hour walk.
Wow.
While by public transport, you've got to go all the way down to Gordon Station, and then you've got to then change to a bus to get all the way up.
That sounds exhausting. So I guess Turramurra needs better buses, and I would say building more apartments, I guess obviously to an extent it's also just rationalization. It seems like building more apartments would create the demand that would lead to better buses. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Sort of like, like duplexes and townhouses sort of like directly next to the bus corridor routes, could definitely, incentivize, the private bus companies to, get some more services.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we kind of covered services. Sorry, that was mobility. So services, so Turramurra seems to have a decent number of services, but it's not quite bursting at the seams with them. And I would suspect that's because there's a lot of detached houses. So do you want to talk about like why Turramurra doesn't seem to have like that many shops? Like it has some, but it could do better, What do you think?
Yeah, well, it's just with that, like, just sort of, there was a lot of bad planning decisions sort of in the 60s. There were lots of bad planning decisions, like where the Coles and the library is now. If you go back to 1943 for an example, there were houses, there were shops, it was there were houses, there were shops, sort of similar amount of patronage to now, and same thing over next to the Uniting Church car park there were lots of houses and shops around there. But then, in the 60s, they went and demolished all them, built car parks, ground level car parks there. And, and that sort of, takes away a lot of the spirit because, there's not that much to do in car parks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But could you talk a bit more about how we could rejuvenate Turramurra, I guess? Like, are there enough people here to justify the services?
Yeah. Well, we do have well with so with Turramurra we got hang on, sorry. Just
No.
yeah. We'll just cut out the section.
All good.
Well, just
take your time.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question?
So I'm kind of just talking about, so Turramurra seems to be kind of, let me just check. Turramurra kind of sits on the middle of the scale between like Cheltenham and Meadowbank. Cheltenham's like got nothing. Meadowbank's got quite a lot. And then Turramurra is kind of in the middle where there's like, it's getting there, but it needs a bit more. So what would you do to make the services better here? And I guess my answer would be more apartments. I guess is your answer the same? Or what do you think?
Yeah, just watch out, the train's gonna come on by, it screeches quite a lot around.
Should it be too bad? Yeah, well, we'll just wait a moment. Okay.
Yeah. That one's fine.
It
depends. It depends on the train. Sometimes they're like like all the way through, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Okay, we think good. Yeah. Do you want to
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So sort of the feedback that that I've received, and also the council's also received as well, is that there's a lot of people that live in Turramurra, but they but nobody ever stays here. Like after about half an hour, everyone goes, oh, screw this, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go somewhere else. They'll like maybe shop for 5 minutes at Coles. They might hop on the train, but that's about it. Nobody actually stays,
And that's quite unlike Meadowbank, which has got like, it's got that waterfront park. Yeah. It's just a nice walk to Paramount, to Rhodes. It's got a ferry stop. It's got a lot to do there. And so Turramurra, what could it do to give more to do in terms of density?
But yeah, like I wouldn't recommend, like, say for example, I wouldn't recommend Turramurra to, go and have, a casual, have a casual coffee lunch or anything like that, but definitely, finally getting that Turramurra community hub built, I think would, which would improve things quite significantly, and then sort of continuing with, with community consultation as well, having the community, fully aware of what's actually happening, slowly, sort of bringing up the density a little bit to, because this is one of the best places to live, and I think, a lot of people would want to, be able to, I think a lot of people would eventually, want to be able to, share. I certainly want to be able to share, share this community with other people as well. You get more people to.
Yeah, we want to be growing this community. We don't want it to just stay stagnant too much. And the way to grow it is more density, townhouses, apartments.
Yeah, which is basically what's happening at the moment. It's growing very stagnant. It's sort of, there hasn't been a lot of investment in Turramurra lately, and I think more of that investment, would definitely, bring a lot of people, back here.
And make it a lively place where it's not defined by excluding others, but including more people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've kind of done services now, so let's do walkability. So for this one, I'm kind of thinking it's okay. Like, the walkability certainly seems all right, but then you got the Pacific Highway. And if you could talk about that crossing as well, like that terrible crossing, that would be great.
Yeah, so north of the highway, you're fine. North of the highway, you'll notice that most of the development is sort of on the northern side of the highway at the moment.
Can you specifically, because I'll probably cut out my part, can you specifically say walkability and stuff?
Yeah. So with walkability, the northern side of the highway, is pretty all right. It's very easy to get to the station and the shops. Most of the activity is happening, on the northern side of the highway. But once you get to the southern side of the highway, there are very minimal crossings on the highway. They take a very long time to cross. If you know me, you know how many times I've complained about, crossing to the other side of the highway. I know it's a first world problem, but I sort of go, crossing along here,
Sorry, the camera zoomed out. Goodness, it does this sometimes.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so do you want to? You might have to do that again. Suddenly zoomed out. So you did north of the highway. Just do north of the highway. I'm sorry, but yeah, just really briefly.
Yeah. So with walkability north of the highway, it's pretty good. Being able to access the station, here and all the shops, it's pretty good. But south of the highway, you need to, cross the Pacific Highway. There's very minimal places to cross the highway. So if you're trying to get on a bus to Macquarie Uni or something like that from the southern side of the highway, it's very difficult without having to jaywalk across there and getting a big BW, running you
Or
over.
spend like 10 minutes waiting at a traffic light?
With the traffic lights, I've, if you know me, I've complained a lot about crossing the highway. You have to, cross, at grade. There's no other option, unless if you go down to Gordon, when there's a footbridge some of the time.
No, exactly. And I think you were saying that, do you want to just repeat this bit you said to me, which is that sometimes the trains come more often than the crossing changes?
Yeah, during the peak hour, when we get trains every 3 minutes, the trains come way more frequently than you can actually cross the road, which is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. So it's like Turramurra is getting a lot of things right with the density, like the tree cover, and we'll talk about tree cover in a moment, but then it's missing out on walkability. It's like halfway there on the north side, but then the south side needs a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely. I strongly agree with that.
Great. So we've done walkability. I think you want to talk about the amenity, and if you could emphasize so like a lot of people on the upper North Shore seem to really think if you build more apartments, you're demolishing the trees. But do you want to kind of speak to why that's not really true? Because we just walked through here and there were so many trees here.
Yeah, there's definitely, I can understand why, some people, they go and look at, some of the bad examples, from other places. People can get quite worried, but I think, if you get good people, planning it, if you get good people building it, you can get some amazing developments, and it can it can even it can enhance the community, enhance the tree cover, enhance the character of the community.
No, exactly, yeah, because Turramurra's got quite a lot of trees around the apartments, so it's managed to really keep a lot of that. So that's really good. So that's tree. So we've done amenity, parks. I guess you want to talk a little. You don't have to talk too much about the. Actually, we can probably skip that because we want to keep going. So we've done amenity. I think there's one more before community. I think it was amenity. So okay, it was density, walkability. I made them all up, by the way. So density, walkability, services, mobility. Did I say amenity? Yeah, I didn't. Okay. So it's a density, walkability, mobility, services, amenity. Yeah. So we're actually a community now. So do you want to talk about how you've seen the community of Turramurra change, and do you think the apartments that they built have been at the detriment of the Turramurra community or for its gain? Do you think this community has gained from it?
Well, can you repeat the question again?
So, no, all good, perfectly fine. So Turramurra's community, do you think it's become better or worse because of all the new apartments that are coming up? And I know they've been there for a while, but they're building more, so.
Yeah, so sort of, pretty much all of my childhood has been, seeing the apartments coming up, sort of the first forms of development that Turramurra has had in decades. And as I was mentioning earlier, Turramurra, is one of the best places to live. I can't think of anywhere else better to live. And I think, as long as we're getting it right, I think we're going in the right direction at the moment. As long as we, keep getting it right, it can greatly enhance the community as long as we get it right.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And okay, so I guess we can just do a quick summary, and then there was one thing we missed. We missed Turramurra Arcade, so we'll just go back to that. But just really quick, so could you do like kind of a summary on? You kind of already did, but maybe just that other one, like what do you like about Turramurra and like urbanism wise? Like, just do you think it's a good urbanist community? Do you think what could it do better, and what does it already do at all?
Yeah, so with Turramurra, it's I've grown up here my entire life, so I'm sort of a little bit biased, but Turramurra is one of the best, communities to live in. We got the train line here, we're we got so much history here. We got a lot of wildlife around here as well. It's a very beautiful, peaceful place as well, while still having most of the amenities around here.
Exactly. And do you think if they don't build more apartments here, do you think you'd ever be able to actually own your own place here?
No, just straight up no. I would at the moment, like when my parents bought my house back in 2006, it was about $850,000. That was one of the most cheapest places around.
And even that's quite a lot even now. It's still a lot for a single person.
yeah, it was very, they had to sell a lot of other stuff to be able to even remotely live here with a mortgage, but
And
now,
that was 10 years ago, or 15 years ago. So imagine now.
Yeah.
Oh, nearly 20 years.
yeah,
2006
nearly
or so
20
long.
years. Oh my god!
In my head, that was 10 years ago. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Don't
I'm still stuck in 2019. But anyway, no, yeah. So, but now they wouldn't even be able to afford it, probably.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Let alone you.
Yeah. And my family is definitely not poor. They are definitely, relatively well off. And even they wouldn't be able to afford to live in, somewhere, $2-3 million, for a single house to, be able to look after, two parents and two kids.
Exactly. So I guess we've kind of touched on everything. So Turramurra, beautiful place, and it could do better, of course, but it's already doing pretty well, I reckon. And okay, and then so to finish up, just really quickly, just you don't have to say too much. This is we didn't get anything about Turramurra Arcade.
Oh yes, that place.
Yeah.
That place, Turramurra Arcade. But yeah, it's basically it was one thing that I was especially wanting to note because it's a lot of the shops like right next to the highway because it's noisy, it's very polluted along there. A lot of shops don't want to move next to the highway. A lot of people don't want to walk next to the highway, like until I was like 14, 15, I was outright banned from walking on the highway because
honestly, like I kind of get it. It's
yeah. And but pretty much any buildings next to the highway, and a big example there was Turramurra Arcade. There's only like 1 or 2 shops there that actually get any tenants in there, and often they're only there for like 6 to 12 months, and then they're gone. And
I wonder how much the rent is. It mustn't be very much.
I'm not quite sure. I'd have to double check, but but there's definitely has been recently, like there's the cafe up on the footbridge that had to close down as well, and then also the and also Elegant Gardens as well has been closing down as well, and Adams Cakes.
So pretty much in summary, the Pacific Highway really damages the amenity of Turramurra.
Yeah, absolutely, and
it's a net negative.
Yeah, absolutely, and the North Connects, hasn't really done anything to fix the issues with the highway because
no one takes the North Connects to get to the city. They take it to bypass Sydney.
No, yeah, and they and
they really should have kind of built it more in the middle, and the toll is ridiculous.
Yeah, the toll is absolutely ridiculous there. So what the trucks do to bypass that, they go they turn off on the M2, they go up Ryde Road, and then they go up the Pacific Highway along here to get these big B double trucks on a road that hasn't been widened since 1890. Along here, and then you get and most of the traffic along here, there's a lot of traffic during the peaks and also on the weekends as well, all day on the weekends, which is definitely a lot of like Transport for New South Wales transport planners have definitely missed with that. There's a lot of traffic demand on the weekends
because you'd say I would have to say Turramurra and then Upper North Shore, despite having this great train line and despite getting pretty busy, it's still a pretty car dependent area. Would you agree?
Yeah, like sort of like right next to the station, like where we are at the moment. It's pretty good, but pretty much everywhere else, even where I am, 400 meters away from the station, my parents never take the train. They just cannot take the train. There's just not enough of that active transport infrastructure to get to the station, and if you're further away, there's not good enough, local bus transport to get here.
And don't worry, my parents are the exact same. Their son is literally like a pretty prominent public transport advocate. They never take the train. So.
Yeah, same thing with me.
It's so ironic. Like, what does it take? Like, literally, your kids are talking about public transport. You don't even take the train.
I used to say, like 9-year-old me used to say to my parents, how about we go and take the train? And they're like, and I'm going like, please, and they're like, no, we'll just go and take the car.
I wonder how much of that is also the 2017 timetable, because of before that. The 2017 timetable was like most train stations were only every half an hour. So
yeah, it's but even then, even though that we did have every 15 minutes before the 2017 timetable along here, it's it's just very difficult from specifically where I live to get
Yeah.
up to the station, specifically, south of the train line. With that, and a lot of people that use the highway, they're not visiting here. They're not stopping off here. They're not stopping off anywhere nearby.
They're going to like Chatswood or the city.
Yeah, they're they're going to the city, but they're also going out. They're getting away from city. They're going up north, like Central Coast Way.
Yeah. Okay, great, Matthew. I think we've pretty much covered. We did it a bit out of order, but I'll just edit it all.
Yeah,
the magic of YouTube. So it's a 25 minutes we spoke for. That was a lot longer than I expected. But thank you so much, Matthew. I really appreciated it.
Thank you so much, Sheriff. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So I will probably put this up on Ko-fi and I will edit it a bit, but like it'll 25 minutes on Ko-fi, but then it'll probably be like 2 minutes in the actual video. But that's fine. At least people on Ko-fi can watch the whole thing if they want.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do. So
that's
great. Okay, I'll stop. Bye, guys.
Oh, I see.